welcome to Karreen and Company. Today, as you know, I always work the umbilicus, but today we're going to put Moxa on REN 8. That's the belly button or the umbilicus, and it's definitely a point where you would never needle, and you have to make sure this is in the scope of your practice. This is where our yin and yang energy meet. It's the kidney gene, the kidney essence that we are birthed into through our mother and father, through our umbilicus. What will this Moxa do? Well, this particular type of Moxa, if you have diarrhea, if you've had a stroke, if you've had a heart attack, if you have a lot of illness and you're really weak and fatigued, this is something you could contact an acupuncturist for and do a session that's really gentle and helps lift your spirit, helps start moving the chi, helps warming the yang, which would give you more internal strength and maybe even a little hope if you're having depression and things such as this. This is called our spirit gate. It's an entry and exit point. And how does it feel? Does it hurt at all? No. Yeah, you would really have no idea this is on your umbilicus. So depending how cold the abdomen is, I might do it 2, 3, 4 applications. It really just depends on the person. Now on stomach 36, I might get a Moxa stick such as this or a smokeless Moxa stick, and I'd probably work down some of the little REN channels, or I might do stomach 36, just depending on what the pulses are saying and what we need to do. So if you get abdominal pain, maybe you get PMS, maybe you have really bad cramping, really bad bubbling in the stomach, this is a really nice treatment to help you out. What happens is you just stick these little Moxa, miniature Moxa sticks in, and when they burn down flat to this little Moxa device, then I just lift the whole Moxa off. You'll see when I lift it off that in her little belly button, all this smoke is going to follow up. Moxa is really healing and nourishing to our meridians and channels because it nourishes our blood, it moves the chi, it clears blocks, it clears stagnation. And like I said, you just sit there and lay. So we're just going to let it burn. It looks like I've got 3 working very well. It looks like possibly these 2 I didn't ignite as good as I should have for this video, but I'm not too concerned about that because we have usually all 5 burned together at the same area. You can kind of see it's a quarter of the way down, and I usually wait till it hits the base because it's still in maybe a quarter of an inch inside. So while I'm talking, I'm going to show you other types of Moxa. So this is stick Moxa, and I could put these on little points on her body. They're just little adhesives that stick. They don't fall off. Well, we can't see that, so let's stick one here. And I would usually light it. Again, we have smokeless Moxa, and this would be indirect Moxa. So if I were working an area, I would just heat it up, lift. This is definitely something you don't want to do at home for yourself because you'll end up burning yourself, and then we have another issue going on. We also have, there's many different forms and types of Moxa. This is another type of Moxa stick. I think they're all very good. It just depends what you want to use in your office. I don't have a preference one way or the other, but when I am working areas of the body where it's at a tilt, I do like the adhesive Moxa, and I do like the stick Moxa because you can either do it like this or this, and I can feel the heat. I need to make sure that when I'm heating areas up that the skin doesn't get too hot and blister. Blistering would not be a good thing. Can you feel the heat at all? No. So usually if someone runs a little cold, usually what we would do is just put our hands on the abdominal area, see what areas are cold, and that would determine how many applications of this Moxa I'm going to put here. So I'm just going to pull these little adhesives off. And we're just going to let this Moxa burn down a little bit more. So whether you have distension and fullness, whether you have the rib side pain and you feel really distended, this would help address that area as well. If you run cold, this is like probably the best treatment you could have done, and then we could do Moxa down the back as well, nourish some stomach points. If you have maybe headaches even, just depends, because yang runs up here, but if you run so cold and maybe you have a lot of tightness here, doing acupuncture and Moxa together would be really beneficial for you. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this off because I see it's getting pretty low, and just watch the belly button. Just watch how that's going to... I just blew it so you can kind of see the smoke coming out. It does leave a little film, but it's not a big deal. But what it is, that Moxa is deep in there. I'm going to swing it out some more. And it's still doing its healing work as the client lays there. If I were to put another application on and a second application quickly, eventually you would just see the smoke coming. And usually what the client feels is a lot of rest, a lot of relaxation, because again, this is the umbilical point. This is where they came into the world, and when they came into the world, they felt really loved, really centered, really at peace. So this would do the same thing. Again, this is moxibustion, REN 8,